There is a popular saying in leadership that if you think you're leading and there's nobody following you, you are only going on a walk. On this platform, you are going to learn principles of leadership. You are going to encounter different leaders. You are going to learn about how you can grow as a leader, how you can make an impact. My name is Samuel Eyim, and I'm the host for the leadership platform. I am a leadership coach, a lawyer by profession, a John C. Maxwell certified coach. I have been in corporate life in senior positions for several years, and now I run the Center for Transformational Leadership, where we train and coach leaders to become better leaders. And I invite you to go on a journey with us as we discuss the subject of leadership in the coming weeks.
This and every Saturday, you have opportunity to ask questions, share your views on important leadership matters.
Hi dear friend, my name is Samuel Eyim, and I'm the CEO for the Center for Transformational Leadership. And I'm bringing to you the growth journey. We've set aside 15 weeks of growth to help you to be intentional about your growth. Where do you want to reach in your leadership? Which area of your life do you want to grow in? Growth doesn't just happen. It has to be intentional. So in these 15 weeks, we're going to have a special coaching sessions with you to be able to grow to where you want to grow. And to be able to grow yourself, you need to know yourself. A lot of us are not achieving the maximum we can achieve because we have not invested in our personal growth. We're going to help you in all and more within these 15 weeks. Every week we'll have a session with you. This program is limited to only 15 people. We're going to have 15 people for 15 weeks, and we're going to learn 15 great growth lessons on this journey. So make a date with us and see you on the growth journey.
Hello everyone, my name is Elsie, and I'm excited that I just completed the 15-week journey with the CTL Africa team on the 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth by John C. Maxwell.
From the law of pain, I also learned that every problem introduces a person to himself. Honestly, till you face a problem, you wouldn't know the things that you actually have within you.
The journey for me personally was a wake-up call. Before I joined this journey, I wasn't actually learning at all. I wasn't adding any logic to what I knew.
So the law of trade-off is saying that you have to give up to grow up. So things that I think are not going to have maximum impact on my life, I have to trade them off.
I want to grow. I am not stopping now. I am continuing. And as far as I'm concerned, like it says, you cannot give what you don't have. I definitely will have to give what I have learned off to others and then get more so that I can continue giving. I am not going to be a reservoir. I am going to be a river, and therefore I'm going to continue learning to be able to give of my best.
Ordinary people can achieve extraordinary results on a consistent basis if they have a system, if they have a plan.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Leadership Platform. My name is Samuel Ayim, and I'm excited once again to come your way this evening with the CTL Africa team and to share with you knowledge and experience on leadership and personal growth. We know it is a busy time. Many people are gone out there into the Volta region, some at Kwahu, some at different places enjoying themselves. But we hope that some of you will find time to join us. So if you are connected either on Facebook, on YouTube, or LinkedIn, please introduce yourself. We know that many of you who joined don't prefer not to introduce yourself, but we would be very happy if you do, so that we can introduce you to the world. At least we would know that you are one of the few who can break the enjoyment and come and join us on the Leadership Platform live. So you are all welcome to the Leadership Platform once again. We've started since last week discussing the subject of workplace leadership, and we are taking some issues at the workplace, and we are bringing leaders who have the expertise, who have the experience, who have the competence to share knowledge with us. And this evening, we are going to continue these discussions. We had a discussion on 360-degree retention and at the workplace, and that was very interesting discussions we had. And this evening, the subject we are going to discuss is actually taking us to the base of leadership and how quality leadership at the workplace would improve our organizational effectiveness. And that is what we are going to talk about today. As we introduce in our publicity, the quote from William Arthur says, "Mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, and the great teacher inspires." Leadership is about inspiring people to their best self. And so we want to bring you somebody who can inspire us this evening. Again, John Maxwell says the single biggest way to impact an organization is to focus on leadership development. And that is why we focus on that. There is almost no limit to the potential of an organization that recruits good people, raises them as leaders, and continually develop them. So even at the workplace, whether you are the CEO, you are the head of department, you are the HR manager, you are the ordinary staff, you're the cleaner, you have a leadership potential and you have the power to influence change. So we are ready to shoot, and we have already a few people introduce themselves. I have Gilbert Sam. He says he's joining all the way from Nkwetia, Kwahu. This is very interesting. If you are in Kwahu and you are able to join us this evening, then we should clap for you, because this is great. All the fun is at Nkwetia now. So thank you so much, Gilbert, for joining from Kwahu, Nkwetia. Now Latele Latte says good evening. She's here with us. Hello. Gloria Navis Senior is also here and is watching from Committee 25, Estate Junction. Her ladyship, Cynthia Martinson, is here joining us. We know she's at the High Court, the judge at Nkoko, so maybe she's also joining from Nkoko, enjoying the fun there. Thank you so much, her ladyship, Lydia Cynthia Martinson. I have Ewuntoma David also listening from Savannah region. David, thank you so much for joining all the way from the Savannah region. So those of you who have not, please just show up. Let's know who is there. I have Hajia Alima Sagito from Eastern region, and she's here. Oh no, it's from he said, hello, best of Easter to us. She's joining from Tamale. And I have Lakwe here from Accra. Great to be here. All right. So we have so many people joining now, but at this moment, we have to run. So I'm going to introduce our speaker this evening. And our speaker is Lysiane Kwagbeji. And I hope I have pronounced it very well. If I didn't, Lysiane, please correct me. But Lysiane Kwagbeji is a management consultant with enormous expertise in the field of corporate governance, organizational development, industrial relations, negotiations, and appropriate dispute resolution. So she has a lot to do with organizations in the workplace. She's a UK certified professional coach in leadership and transformational coaching, a certified pulse trainer, and a listed arbitrator and mediator at the National Labour Commission and a member of the Ghana National Association of ADR practitioners. I mean, we cannot have any better person to talk to us about leadership at the workplace, organizational effectiveness, high quality leadership at the workplace. Because all the disputes, all the fights at the workplace all stem from leadership. You will hear unions fighting their management, and you will see conflicts among staff, department against department. All boils down to the quality of leadership. And Lysiane is competent in that area to help us. She has variously led negotiations for government, companies, and workers in the corporate and financial sector in Ghana. And she consults for Game and Game Group and Baker Africa. She has vast regional exposure in providing corporate human capital development, conflict management, advisory services to public institutions, private firms, churches across West Africa region. And I want to stop there because there's so much about our speaker this evening. And I just want to give her the floor to share with us on the subject of workplace leadership. And we are looking at high quality leadership for organizational effectiveness. Lysiane, you are very welcome. The stage is yours. And I'm particularly excited to have you on this platform because we know what you can share with us. Thank you so much and welcome to the leadership platform.
Thank you so much, Samuel, and a very good evening to your audience. I see a very good friend of mine, Patience Osikre, all the way from London, and Cynthia Awa from CG. Thank you so much for coming online, and a very good evening to everyone else, especially those from Kwewu, Akosombo, Tema. I'm glad to have you join us this evening, and thank you, Samuel, for the platform. If you don't mind, I can share my screen and then we can move on to the conversation for tonight. Is that okay, Samuel?
Yes, it's okay. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good. Let me just...
Yep. Okay. Don't worry. We can make do with this. Let's go.
Awesome. Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Great.
It's not in presentation mode, but it's fine. Let's go. Let's go with it.
It's not in presentation mode. Oh, let me see. Is this okay?
Yes, it's okay. Please go ahead.
Great. So I learned I have 30 minutes. I'm going to try my best to work within the 30 minutes to share some few things on high quality leadership for organizational effectiveness. Leadership is everything that drives businesses, organizations, religious societies, state institutions, and the world over. So when Sami brought up the topic, high quality leadership, it was very interesting. The first thing that came to mind was I was asking, so yes, this is very, it's becoming evident in the corporate space that even though we have quality leadership, the world of leadership is advancing, and we are moving beyond quality leadership into high quality leadership. So it means there is a distinction between what is quality leadership and what is high quality leadership, and what are some of the benefits of high quality leadership. What are some of the benefits that it brings to bear in an institution? So to set the ball rolling, I wanted us to just work our heads around it. What actually is high quality leadership, and what do high quality leaders do that makes them different from other leaders? Because we are all leaders in our various spaces, leaders of our own selves, leaders of our families, leaders of small sect, and then also leaders within our workspaces. But for today, we're going to situate the leadership conversation in the workplace. So this is about workplace leadership. What do high quality leaders do that makes them different from other leaders? Then we can talk about the impact of high quality leadership on the effectiveness of organizations, or what is the effect or the impact of a high quality leader or a high quality leadership team on the performance of an institution. So I want to take us back to the basics. I believe we all know the definition of leadership. So what is the difference between high quality leaders and the other leaders? First thing is, high quality leaders build systems. They build systems, they build structures, and most importantly, they build people for sustainable businesses. The difference with other leaders is that other leaders may not operate in all these three areas. You have leaders who are more particular about building systems, but they don't have the structures, the capacity to withhold or roll out or run those systems. And then we have those leaders who have the structures, but they don't have the systems to work out the structures. And we have others who have the systems and the structures, but they don't build the people. So for them, it's all about making the system work, putting in place the structures that run the business. But the investment in the people aspect, which is the most important aspect of every business, is where they lag in. So once you have leaders who build systems, they build structures, and then they look at the human resource. They build the capacity of the human resource for sustainable business. Then we say, oh, this is a high quality leader. Then we have another leg to it. High quality leaders are those who are sustainability conscious. You know, the world is moving towards sustainability, and it's been a very trending conversation in the global space about the next 10, 20 years. What is the world going to be faced with? We are not going to be faced with a world of war, combat war, or gun war against nations and all. No. It is a world, it's going to be a war of survival. It's going to be an economic war. It's going to be a war of survival, both for businesses and individuals, the people, and also the environment in which we exist. So high quality leaders are leaders who come into leadership with a three-pronged approach: sustainability, people, business, environment. And they develop competencies of the people they work with to be able to harness out the best out of the human resource. They are looking out for how can we bring out the best out of the people that we work with, not just for the business, but also to be able to create synergies that would help us achieve our organizational goals. And you can bring this into the home setting, you can bring it into the church setting, you can bring it into the work setting. Any institution where you have human relations, where you have human involvement, where you have some level of interdependencies. And these people are looking at how can we harness the best out of the people? How can we create synergies to achieve those goals that are relevant not just to me as an investor or as a leader, but also to the people who add value to the business for us to achieve our corporate goal. Then the next thing is that high quality leaders have a different worldview about life. A different
Just a quick one, Anne. Please,
Yes.
Anne, I don't know if you are moving your slides, but just to draw your attention, from where I sit, we're not seeing your slides move. But
Oh, you are not. I'm now in slide 3. Have you seen any different slide? Sami, is it on the same slide?
it has been on the first page all along. So let's see how it would look like.
Is it still on the same page? Hi, Samuel. Hello.
Hello, yes. We're still on the first page.
Okay, I'm now on the third page.
Okay, maybe you should just reshare and then move to the next page. Okay, so stop share and reshare again, and then move, and then you can continue. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, reshare, share screen, share slide. Okay, while I'm trying to put my slides back on, let me have your thoughts. What do you think? What are your thoughts on high quality leadership? What are some of the qualities you think makes a high quality leader different from a normal leader? Please drop your comment in the chat box while we work on this. Sam, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, we can see. I can see your screen.
Okay, good.
It's
Okay, good. Is it very visible?
Yeah, it is. It is visible. It's just not on the presentation mode, so it's but it's okay. Go ahead, please. Don't let this stop you. Go.
Okay. So I was talking about the other lab. Can you see the next slide? This is the third slide.
Yes, we can see the slide which ends with direction and inspiration.
Awesome, awesome, good.
Yeah.
Maybe you may just have to manage it like this.
Yes.
Great. So there are people who, high quality leaders, have a different worldview of life, a different worldview of people, a different worldview of situations and processes using appreciative inquiry. Most the normal leadership style and trends that we know is you have to be an authoritative leader and blend it a little bit, become a bit transactional for you to get your results. And we need to use the SWOT analysis. What are we doing well? What are we not doing well? What are our strengths, our weaknesses, our threats? Now, the new trend of leadership, which really produces results, has created a shift. There is a paradigm shift in the world of leadership, where leaders are supposed to bring a different worldview into the lives of their businesses, the people who run the business, situations that the businesses encounter on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, and also processes. And then the next thing is high-quality leaders practice strategic humility. Last week, I was teaching a labor law class with one of the HR institutions in Ghana. They certify for SPHRI. And I was talking about some aspects of the labor law and the need for human resource directors or managers or those in the Office of Human Resource to practice strategic humility. And that is what gets results these days. Even though I am the boss, I need to be strategically humble to bring in the minds, the views, the thoughts, the innovations through brainstorming, through engagement, through a protocol kind of conversation with the people I work with, both my internal and external customers, for me to be able to have a clear-cut strategy on how to move the business towards the right direction. So high-quality leaders practice that. So you don't just sit up and take decisions. Gone are the days where we used to dwell and thrive on management prerogative. Now it's about collaborative work. The world of work now, for you to really achieve results, is about co-creation, from the leader right down to the least person in the organization. And then they also have a protocol for engagement. Every leader should have a protocol for engagement with their important people. And one of the things that we advocate for with institutions that we negotiate for and consult for is for a use of the GHOST principles. Along the line, I would share with you what the GHOST principles is and how you can apply it. It's a stance for any form of human engagement. And most importantly, high quality leaders provide a vision, they give direction, and then they ignite and provide inspiration. Leadership is all about vision. Where are we headed to? And to be able to properly provide vision for your team or your business, it means you as a leader should have your personal vision. Your personal vision for yourself and your life has a very great impact in the output of your business, institution, or department in which you operate. And I would want to throw a very heavy weight on human resource office and the onboarding process. It's very crucial, especially when you are having an engagement for a leadership position, that stakeholders, key stakeholders, shareholders, business owners should be very interested in the vision of the people they appoint as leaders. If I'm going to say, Sami, you are going to employ me as, let me say, a COO or a personal consultant or coach, you must be very interested in my personal vision. What's my vision in life? What is my worldview about life? Because it's not just about the technical competencies that people bring to bear. Their personal vision and orientation of life, work, and people is very crucial. Because once that is not aligned with the business vision, then you have a dissonant leader, a leader who has a dissonant character. in the office space or in the workspace, he comes in with a different kind of attitude. But in his personal life, it's a different thing altogether. But for you to be a high quality leader that can guide the institution or organization towards performance, there has to be an alignment between your personal vision, your personal goals, towards that of the institution or the company or the business. And the direction and inspiration will come with due course. So, who is a leader? Leaders make things happen. That's just it. And the world has changed. And approaches to leadership that served well in the past do not really address the challenges of the 21st century. Like I said some few minutes ago, the world of leadership has changed. What leaders used to do in the past to get results does not have much impact these days because information is abounding. There are new technologies, there are new strategies, there's new knowledge about the way of doing work and the way of doing things and the way of doing business. So the kind of leadership that will thrive in this era and the kind of leadership that will produce results in businesses is an appreciative leadership. And I added PULSE. PULSE is just an acronym for people using language skills, which dovetails into appreciative leadership, how leaders use language skills to be able to garner energies, to be able to garner innovation, ideas for the betterment of their institutions and work closely, building strong work relationship within the business space or the work environment. So I will just give you definition of appreciative leadership, what it is, and then I would share one or two slides and I'll hold on for us to jump into the next session to have a conversation. So there's a positive approach to leadership, like I said, and appreciative leadership brings in that positive approach that brings out the best in everyone. For you to achieve results, you need to bring out the best in everyone. And appreciative inquiry is one of the management tools that businesses use today. Appreciative inquiry is also one of the legs of appreciative leadership, bringing in the minds of people into an inquiry instead of investigations. Let us investigate what will work. Now it is, let us come together, let us brainstorm, let us inquire, let us create space to expand the minds of our people, our team, to be able to bring out the best to get results. And it is premised on a shift from focusing on what is wrong, what we are not doing well at the workplace. Why are we not getting this result? Why are we not achieving this much? Why are we not meeting targets? Into shifts into a positive outlook towards what is working well for us and how can we add value to it to make things work better. So that brings you into the space of inclusivity. The leader begins to include, you want to include everybody in the inquiry process. Bring everybody on board, departmental levels, leaders, managers, supervisors. Let us have a conversation, a business conversation. And then that's inclusivity. I should bring everybody on board to inquire about what would work best for our institution, our department, towards achieving our corporate and organizational goals. Automatically, innovation sets in because you have varied ideas, varied suggestions, and then we can look out for what can we co-create. Inspiration is brought to bear because there is a process that you need to go through in getting people through the brainstorming process. It is not a philosophy. And if you go to universities these days, you are not going to get a whole book on who said what about where, when, where. Leadership goes beyond that. Now, in the world of leadership, it's about how can we do it to get our results. So we are moving from looking at who said what, when, where, into what is working for us. How do we add value to it? It's a way of having set strategies that gives rise to practices that are applicable to specific industries, specific needs through a collaborative action. It brings out the full potential of all the people within the institution. So what does it mean to me and for the way I work? It uses a lot of questions. One of the great leaders once said that the greatest leaders are those who ask questions, not those who give directions. Because in asking questions, you ignite a positive energy and you set your workers in mode to think, to reflect, and to be creative. So it's appreciative leaders move from telling into asking. What does this mean for us and for the way we work together? How can we do this best? What will give us the best results? It's a relational capacity. It helps to mobilize creative potentials and turns the energy of your workers, your important people, in a positive mode. Once you bring in an appreciative approach in leadership, what happens is it sets in motion positive ripples. Your workers become confident, they are energized, they are enthusiastic, and performance is enhanced. They want to perform because they have ownership of the entire process and how things work. So, how do appreciative leaders work within businesses to create results and bring about high performance? This is something I said, that every high-performing business should have a framework to measure its organizational effectiveness. So once you bring an appreciative leadership approach in doing your business, automatically you must have systems in place or a framework to check what is working, what needs to be added, what else can we do. So this is a simple framework I created just for tonight's conversation. I said a framework for effective measurement of organizations' performance. And remember in my introduction of high quality leadership, I said these are leaders who build systems, they build structures, and they have strategies and build people. So if this is what high quality leaders do, then they should have a framework to operate and bring about organizational performance. So the first thing is systems. What systems do we have in place? What structures do we have in place? What kind of strategies do we have in place? Strategies to be able to achieve our vision and mission. What kind of team do we have in place? Is it a creative leadership team? Is it a dormant leadership team? Once you have this framework, your systems, your structures, your strategies, and your team, it is very easy for you to measure how is the organization performing. And when you come on board with your appreciative leadership skills, automatically you are able to drive all these 4 areas towards organizational performance. So in becoming a high quality organization that is highly effective and high performing, the appreciative leader or high quality leader uses all his skills, leadership skills, strategic humility, AI, appreciative inquiry, and all the rest to move the institution from an undesired state into a desired state, breaking through status quo with the use of language. Remember, I said appreciative leaders are those who use language skills effectively. Through the use of language and quality conversations that are guided by protocols, you're able to break through and get your organization into a highly performing organization. But when you don't bring on board the skills and you want to use the old form of leadership, you would have, in quote, you have a Takashi kind of workforce who will be repelling. If your structures are not solid, your systems are not solid, your strategies are not aligned, automatically, this is where you find yourself. So you have your leaders here and you have the workforce here. And everybody is pulling towards what they think will work best. Leadership is pulling the workers, come towards this side. This is what we think will work. The workers are saying, no, it is this way that we have been doing it, status quo. This is how we used to do it. This is how our former leaders used to do it. This is how the former MD used to do it. And at the end of the day, it is the business that suffers. So in order to become a strategic, high-performing organization, high-quality leaders have a very key role to play, and it's a positive one for that matter, to work with structural and cultural obstacles, to work with the resources, which is the people, and creating favorable conditions for the use of the competencies that they bring to bear in the businesses. And then you use your conversational skills, you use your positive, appreciative inquiry, and all the 5 I's I mentioned in appreciative leadership to move the institution right from a sub-optimizing strategy, the way we used to do it that was not helping, into an enhanced high-quality leadership state using current assessed strategies. What is working well for us? What do we value most? These are some of the things you ask to drive your people, and in driving the people, automatically you drive the institution. What do we value about ourselves, about the people we work with, about the organizations and other stakeholders, especially the customers? And when I say customers, mind you, I'm not just talking about the external customers. The internal customers, our workers, are as equally important and valuable as the external customers, because they are the ones who sell the business first by their output, by their input, and also by their advocacy of your business practices. Appreciative leaders ask questions like, what difference will it make to stakeholders if we cease to operate? Right back to your vision. You bring the workers, you bring the entire leadership team, you bring the entire workforce right back to the drawing board. And you have to be a reflective leader for you to be an appreciative leader, always reflecting on your systems, your structures, your strategies, always auditing what is working well for us. How can we add value to it? What did we set out to do initially? Are we moving towards our vision? Are we moving towards achieving our corporate goals? Or are we moving against it? Because most times, even in businesses who are focused more on profitability, they forget about their original vision, and they are more focused on how can we make more and more and more. But for you to have a sustainable business, which is high performing, with a highly engaged workforce, you need to always assess how our systems, how our structures, how are the people we work with. What about the strategies? What else do we need to add value from? Shifting from SWOT to SOAR. And I'm going to pause here. From what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, what are our opportunities, and what are our threats, into what are our strengths? What are the opportunities that await us? What are our aspirations? What are the results that we look out for? So, Sami, I would like to and then hear from you.
All right. Okay. So that's very, very good. And I'm seeing some comments. So I'm seeing some comments already because you asked a question and some people are asking some comments. So I'm going to take a couple and then we'll do a quick break for short announcement. And if you are joining the platform for the first time, this is the first part. We have a presentation, beautiful presentation, giving us so many new ideas about how to lead at the workplace and new terms about appreciative leadership, moving from SWOT to SALT, and so on and so forth. I'm sure you have so many questions. This is the time we learn a lot. This is the time you bring your experience, you share your views so that we will get the comments from the speaker. And this is where the learning becomes personal to you. So don't go away. And we have so many people on the call already. And let me just, at this point, ask Kofi to quickly share some of the things we are doing. And then we will come back and take the comments whilst Lizanne take a quick a glass of water. And then we will come back to her very, very, very shortly. All right. So Kofi, over to you for now.
My name is Eliza.
My name is Elsie.
My name is Ebenezer Tufo.
This is Rosemary Robert Gacy.
Over the past 14 weeks, I have been part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey, and it has been a blessing for me. I want to share my lessons with you.
Indeed, my attitude to life has never been the same. On the very first day, I joined the virtual Personal Growth and Leadership Masterclass organized by Center for Transformational Leadership CTL Africa under the tutelage of Mr. Samuel Eyim.
First, the law of intentionality. Second, the law of design. And third, the law of the rubber band, the law of expansion.
The law of intentionality, the law of awareness. Then we have the law of the mirror.
Looking at how intense these laws are and how much impact they're supposed to make to our life.
My value obviously is not the same. The program indeed satisfies my quest for knowledge. So I encourage you to be part of this journey and also become an encouragement to others.
I will recommend CTL Africa to everyone who hears about us.
It has been a blessing to me, and I will encourage you to be part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey.
So we thank Mr. Eyim, we thank CTL, and thank you for listening to us.
God bless you as you make a move today.
I've been blessed, and so you'll be blessed. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And for those of you who are joining for the first time, every week on Saturdays at 7 p.m., we are on this platform. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, we are on LinkedIn. Please like our pages, subscribe to our YouTube channels, and share with your friends and let them come around to learn from us. We also have several programs. One of the programs we have running now is our Growth Journey program. It's a 15-week journey where we are taking you through the laws of personal growth to help you to become a better leader. And the people you heard are lawyers, accountants, HR professionals, corporate executives, bankers, and so many others who have gone through this program, and they share their experiences with the program. We've done several trips already, and we are starting another trip this Tuesday. We take maximum of 15 people on a trip. So if you're interested, please get in touch. The team will share the link for you to register and to join. I believe we already, for this trip, we already almost booked, but we always we can go 2 trips at a time. So if you're interested, please, the trip is starting this next one. Last one finished last week, and we are starting the next trip on Tuesday. Tuesdays at 6 p.m. We meet for 2 hours every week, and we take you through the 15 Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell from his book, the 15 valuable laws of growth will help you to develop your own personal growth plan to become a better person and a better leader. So please take advantage of these programs, and you will never regret it. All right. So before we come back to Liz, I see so many people here, and please stay put because there's more coming. I know she didn't cover all her slides because of time, but she's going to share more. So don't go away. I have on the platform already, there's so many people here. I have Teresa Asarikuma is here. Rosemary Dufie Adupoku is here. Pastor Isaac Ayukukwashe from Dar es Salaam. Thank you. It's late in Dar es Salaam, but you're here. Thank you so much. Christina Ado is here. Cynthia Awa is here. Rookie is joining us from Central University. And our speaker's good friend, Patience Osekre from London. Patience, thank you so much for making the time to join. Portia Kotobuating is here watching from Tema. And we have Bagwin Lawrence, and she's from Nandong. He's joining Upper West. Great. Janet Akwai is here joining from Gomuafete, all over the country. We have people joining. We have Park Odro. He says, hello, interesting session, great for growth. All right. And he says he's from Inkwetia. All right. So we have a few comments. So I'm going to bring Liz, and we are going to see some of the comments come in. And then we would discuss some questions with her also. So when you ask the question, who is a high quality leader, Charles Mauli Aishede, I hope Aisu Hede, I think that's the correct one. Aisu Hede says, honesty, humility, and integrity are some of the qualities of high quality leader. And he says high quality leaders understand the principle of long suffering for perpetual results. Now, I don't know, give us your thoughts on these qualities that Charles is sharing, that if you are a high quality leader, you should be honest, you should have humility. You talked about humility, integrity, and also he talks about long suffering for perpetual results. How can we do this?
I almost burst into laughter when I heard of the long suffering for perpetual results. What was running through my mind is, why would I want to suffer for long when I can share the suffering with the people that we are all going to enjoy together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yes, sacrifice could be it, but you that's why I said there's a shift.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to suffer alone as a leader?
Yeah.
Be on board. Inclusivity, include everybody into the process. So I am a leader because I have people who believe in my vision. Because once you are a leader of an institution, you automatically are the forebearer of the vision of the institution. So you have to make your vision very, very attractive, marketable, enjoyable for all the other people who are your co-creative partners to come on board. So the suffering is not yours. If there has to be a suffering, everybody, including the laborer, including the security, must be part of it. Because you are moving beyond you doing all the thinking and you doing all the strategy into you bringing all the key people on board. Let us have a conversation. This is the direction of the institution. So it goes beyond long suffering. It's about if you want to include your important people, then there is a shared burden.
Yeah. Now, I mean, on this platform, we shared severally that, there's a concept of leadership in organization, especially in the workplace, where all these things that you're sharing, I'm sitting here and say, well, me, I don't care. that he's talking to my boss. You see, you hear all that he or she is saying. Where is my boss? You should come and hear these things. Why should I feel like that? Is it right? How do we all come in and not just leave this whole idea of leadership to that boss, the head of department, the CEO, and all of us fold our arms and sit back and say, yeah, they say appreciative leaders. You see the boss, he's not including anybody. He has no vision. So how does it work so that all of us are part of this whole concept and we see ourselves as leaders also?
Sammy, it has to do with one, you, the worker, coming to that place of conscious awareness that your time is your life. And where you spend your time and how you spend your time is your life you are spending. So whatever institution you give your time to in terms of being engaged or employment to render services, what you are doing is you are rendering that quality part of your life, giving it away. So if your leader is not the type who is an appreciative leader, and you have come across an information like this, the question is, how do I, as an individual leader of my own life, which is aligned to the vision of the workplace, the place where I work, which is automatically aligned to the leader with whom I serve, how do I align this information to add value so that value will be added to my life so that I can become a high-performing worker? I can also contribute to the effectiveness of the institution. It boils down to conversation. How do I have a conversation with my boss to bring this kind of knowledge to him so that we can engage in a dialogue to co-create our future, because the future of the business is your future. And mind you, for all our friends on the platform, if you are working in a place and you are not happy, you are not being fulfilled, it's not adding value to your life. Earlier on in my presentation, I spoke about your personal vision. Where you are working, the vision of the business is not aligned with your personal vision. Please leave. But if you think you cannot leave and I need to stay, then you must be bold enough to begin to think. Maybe the question should be, think about, how can I have this kind of conversation with the people who matter in my business so that my life can be made easier?
Yeah.
So bold step.
Yeah, thank you so much. But that of leave there, because my pocket too, the bills are piling up. Though the place is not very, but if I leave now, what am I going to
So
eat?
if you cannot leave, bring about change. Let me share a very interesting short story with you.
Good.
And we use this for high quality leadership. This we run a program on organizational effectiveness. This for CEOs, boards of state institutions, banks, and all the rest in Ghana. And this is what we use. This is a real life story. Okay. There is one of the mining companies where they spend, if I have any friends on the platform who are working with the mines, you know that the machineries are very expensive. One tire can cost up to like $50,000-$80,000 just for a single tire, the earth moving ones. And with this particular client company of ours, they were always running in debt. They were always beyond budget. Why? Because always doing budget overrun, because every time they have to replace tires. They have brought in experts from South Africa, experts from Europe, have come giving all their expert advice. The situation is not changing. So once we went for negotiations, salary negotiations, and we were having a conversation, and the union leaders, the workers, one of them is a driver, and he said, we know what the problem is. Every time we come for negotiation, you say there's no money, but we know what the problem is. The problem is you are spending too much on tires, and we know how to find solution. And the CEO was like, you know, and you didn't tell us. She said, you didn't ask us. You brought in consultants. So how did they find it? Whenever they blow the dynamite, okay, the site, the pit is so hot. And that's when the managers and the supervisors start screaming at the drivers, go, 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 go. And because they are putting pressure, they also just drive straight. And the heat wears off the tire. So we asked, what do we think is the way forward? They said, oh, one solution is when they blow the dynamite, at least let's give some 30 to 1 hour before we move onto the site. And we told management, just try it. You will not lose anything. You have lost enough. And they tried it for 1 month. They were not understanding it too much. By the 3rd month, their profit started shooting up. So it's about creating an open door for brainstorming. Nobody is stupid, not even the gate man. The gate man can help you find a business solution. So the option of living, like you said, might not be there, but you may have a valuable contribution to save your institution. So you have to be bold. And remember, you are a leader of your own self. Once Samuel engages me as a worker, it means my personal vision is aligned to Samuel's business vision. And I have a responsibility as a worker to add value to Samuel's vision. I must be bold to use language skills. Maybe on another day, I can take your people through how to have these kind of conversations and get results. It's very important. Don't sit and waste your destiny away because your leader is not effective. If you have come across knowledge like this, engage further and see how can I engage to add value, because that's what brings us the solution.
And I like that story. Very, very powerful, because it illustrates the point that leadership is not just about the people in positions. You talk about a driver coming up with a solution. So as far as that problem is concerned, the driver is the one who led the solution. So the driver was the leader at that point. Yes, the boss is there, the CEO is there, the manager is there, the mind organizer, but having a position does not necessarily make you a leader.
That's why that's where brainstorming comes into play.
Absolutely. And when Charles, for example, talks about honesty, humility, integrity, and so on and so forth, these are not just for your boss. These are for everybody in the team. If all of us are honest, humble, and we are of integrity, we will bring our ideas together in a humble way, discuss it with our bosses, and then all of us will come together. And that is what we call leadership, total leadership, all of us.
Organizational wide leadership.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. There are a few more comments from other people, and I would like us to discuss them as we go along. Isaac Aiku, joining all the way from Tanzania. I live in Tanzania for 2 years, so I know it's 3 hours ahead of us. So as we speak at 8 o'clock, it's 11 p.m., but he's still here on the call with us. And he says, high quality leaders understand the principle of long suffering. Long suffering is coming again for perpetual results. Now, we need to decode that long suffering again. And so note that
suffering is a choice. Samuel, tell my friend that suffering is a choice. You can choose to suffer, and you can choose to suffer long. And you can also choose not to suffer.
Yes.
By putting in systems and structures in place that would aid you towards immediate benefits, not long suffering.
Exactly. So the idea is not to work hard and painful, but to work smart. That's why we are talking systems. So you're putting systems that will take the suffering away, and you put structures and strategies. When you align all these people together with people who are all committed and who are working together, we will get the results in a painless way. So we don't have to wait too long to get the results and so on. So I think that's the point that, Liz, you were making, right?
Definitely. It's about the systems, structures, the people, and aligning all to the vision, creating strategies to work around it. Once you get these 4 key areas, if you don't mind, I can just project that slide for...
Please do.
Yes, let me just put that back. If you don't take anything away from today's conversation, please, if you can take a snapshot of it. This, I think, should help you. Let's see. Sam, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Good.
1 minute.
So this is it.
Yes, this is it.
So this
All
is
right.
it. Having the
Yeah.
framework.
Okay.
So it's the systems, it's the structures, great strategies, and creative leadership team. And like Sami, like you said, you just summed it up perfectly for me. Leadership right from bottom top, not top bottom. But
Yeah.
everybody is a leader, organizational wide leadership. And you, the CEO or MD, creating an alignment around all these 4 areas. How are your teams aligned to the system? How are they working within the system? How are the structures aiding the vision and the systems that are created for it? How are the strategies linked for effective performance and ease of implementation by your creative team? If you master all these 4 areas, you are gone as a leader.
Yeah. Thank you
It's
so
all
much.
resolved.
This is really powerful because sometimes um, organizations spend so much time. We buy all the systems, and I can share with you when I used to work in a bank, we talk about changing systems, the bank software, and the system was changed. And within the next 2 months, there were so many complaints from our customers, and we had to go back to the old system. And when we sat down to review the why this system is not working, everybody is complaining. We realized that we were so focused, like the driver said to the managers, we were focused on consultants giving presentations to the management in the boardroom, and we forgot that nobody in that boardroom was going to use the system. It's the people at the front end, the cashiers, the tellers, they are going to use the system, and nobody thought about them. Nobody trained them well for the systems. And so we say, go, the system goes, and everybody is trying their best, and they are making mistakes, and they are saying the system is not good. So your 4 pillars, if I may call them, in the framework, is absolutely important for all those who are here who want to influence. And developing system does not have to come from the top. You can come with an idea and find a system to do your work well and effectively so that you're getting the results, even though the organization may not come in. So I think the point that Liz is making is important, and it's for all of us to understand. All right.
And Sami, just to add, one thing as consultants, we also always advise leaders is before you consult a consultant, consult your people. So wherever I go to consult and there is an issue, the first thing I ask, what kind of consultations or engagement has already gone on?
Yeah.
Someone, we have engaged this, then I ask, what is the feedback so far? So consult from within before you can consult externally, because those within are the ones working with the systems, working within the structures. Maybe your structures are not aiding your systems. Maybe the people are not well trained, they don't have the competencies. So have extensive internal consultations before you waste money outside. The consultant should only come in when you already have something on the table and we think we need an expert advice on this that we have already gotten from our internal consultations.
Yeah. And that's actually the proper definition of consultancy. The consultant takes your watch and tells you the time. So if you don't have a watch, there's no way a consultant will be of use for you. All right. Thank you so much, Alice. Thank you so much. And now Latele says a high quality leader should have integrity, self-esteem, respect, and be humble. So some of the qualities that you mentioned are coming in. Self-esteem is coming through here. And it's now, Alice, please share a bit light on that self-esteem. How does it work? Because we have a lot of issues at the workplace where you have leaders who have self-esteem issues, who are not able to the things that you are talking about, consulting and opening up, doesn't come so easily with people. And sometimes it is because of their inner emotional competition. What can you share about that? How do we overcome this?
You know, egocentrism comes with a low self-esteem. I was with the group HR of one of the big hotels in Ghana. That was on Thursday. And we're having a conversation, and she shared a challenge regarding her superior. And I told her, you need to help her. She was like, wow, she doesn't need help. I said, no, she does. Because when a leader is not self-aware and emotionally intelligent, it reflects and has a direct impact on the business and on the working people. Because they are, as a leader, I'm already dealing with my own complexes. I have issues with self-esteem. So I would tend to view every person on the team who brings up a bright idea as a competitor.
Yeah.
Instead of as a co-creator, I see you as a competitor, and I begin to use power plays and politics on how I can downplay you and make you seem stupid. But it's not that you are stupid, it's because I have issues I'm dealing with. So for my friends on the online, let us help our superiors who have issues. Emotional intelligence is very crucial for today's leadership. If you are not emotionally intelligent as a leader, you are not self-aware, you haven't properly identified yourself, you don't know how to engage with people, your social networks, it would always have an impact on the business, and people will struggle under you. So let's advocate for emotional intelligence. Let's advocate for appreciative conversations. See, I'm using a lot of appreciative today. Appreciative conversations. What are you doing well? Because if you always come from, and I don't like the way my leader talks, and I know you have already shut him down. How do you have those kind of change conversations? Because for you to get results, you need to have a conversation for change. And you must have a protocol that will guide that. Maybe in another conversation later on, we'll talk about that. But it is very crucial that you have an approach to it. Emotional intelligence, you yourself who wants to bring about change or add value to the life of your leader, you must also be in a position to have skills to aid you to have conversations for change.
Yeah. That's actually, maybe we would just bring you next time to talk to us about effective conversations for results. And
We see
so
about
people
that.
stay tuned, that we're going to have a very dedicated subject on effective conversations for results in the workplace, so that you know how to talk. Now, Lakwe says, I believe high quality leaders should be self-aware, and you've talked about that, self-aware, and work towards responding to the various situations in the best interest of the team. Okay. And now, and that there's another dimension, Liz, and I want you to throw that, because sometimes bosses or leaders talk about the organization, and this is not in the interest of the organization. And we communicate in a way to put the organization in conflict with the people within the organization. How do we communicate in such a way that we focus on the organizational interest, but it's not as if the people who are in the organization are not part of that interest? How does it work?
Sammy, what makes the organization complete? I think it's the people. Because you can have your systems, you can have your structures. Who will run the systems?
Yes.
Even when you have all the best machines, if you don't have the people to work with the machines or the people to run the systems, it's a total waste. So I just opened my Labor Act to read for you the duties of the employer and the duties of the worker. If you go to section 9, section 9H of the Labor Act, it says the employer, you the worker, protect the interest of the workers. Employer protects the interest of the workers. And when you come to section 11G of the Labor Act, it also says under the duties of the workers, it says you worker protect the interest of your employer. So both the employer and the worker have a collective responsibility and duty under the Labor Act of Ghana to protect each other's interests. It's a social partnership. And in social partnerships, there are rights and responsibilities. So wherever you have a leader who always says, not the interest of the business, maybe there may have to be a change of use of language. And I love the bit when you spoke about maybe a session on effective communication, because the words we use, the kind of language we use, can either inspire people or it can dampen their spirits.
Yeah.
So if I am to protect the interest of the employer, it means anything I do that is not in the interest of the employer will automatically have an indirect impact on me.
Yeah.
So instead of you, the leader, saying it is not in the interest of the employer, the business, you say it is not in our collective interest. And when you say business, you, the worker, you are a crucial part of the business. So the use of language and the way we communicate may have to change.
Yeah.
You understand? A lot of leaders think, oh, when I use power and I use force, then I can get the people to respect me. No, there's the world has changed. Information abounds now. We have a highly enlightened workforce. So it means leaders must also meet up to the new trends of leadership and use conversation, use proper language skills to drive the people.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Lakwe continues, they should also aim at servant leadership where they are creating the right environment, gaining buy-in, and getting the best out of the team. So this is reinforcing some of the things that you are saying. Ebenezer Tufo joining us from Abuja, and okay, he has no comment for now. Untuma David says, high effective leaders must have language skills, alignment of systems, structures, and strategies are paramount to achieving high quality leadership. So he's learning a lot. So guys, go ahead, share your learning. What are you taking away from all that Lysiane has said this evening? What are you going to apply tomorrow? What are you going to change in the way you lead tomorrow? And what are you going to teach to your team? Share with us these three things. A, apply. C, change. T, teach. What have you learned today that is going to be of use to you tomorrow? Share with us.
Samuel, I see a question from Isaac.
Okay.
Isaac Kwashi, how does a high leader deal with betrayals and shock?
Okay, so go ahead with that, and then maybe I skip that. Yes.
With all the traits and the attributes we have learned today,
yes.
You would get to learn at the bottom of it is that the appreciative leader is a leader at par. You need some element of coaching and mentoring. And I'm going to say something very interesting that would boggle your mind. A high quality leader is highly spiritual. Because it is your all these things we are talking about must be born out of your spirit, the authentic self. So how do you deal with betrayals and shocks? For you to be an effective, high quality leader, appreciative leader who produces results, you are an agent of change. Remember in my first slide, change of circumstances, change of people, change of situations, change of business. So the people who work with you, how can I work with them to bring about change, not only in terms of business results, but also in terms of their lives, their characters, how they came into the business, how much change would occur in their life as a result of my leadership. So you have been betrayed. You have gone through shocks. Isaac, let me share with you. I'm a leader in my own small corner too. And I've gone
your corner is big, your corner is big.
I've gone through worst forms of betrayals. One thing I tell people, leaders in training sessions, is that you must have a very big heart to walk people into your circle and not you getting drawn into their circle. Because when people get into betrayals and all this backbiting and politicizing, it is because, one, they have not fully understood you. Or probably you must be reflective and ask, what is it that I need to add value to? Sami, did you hear my question? I didn't say, what is it that I am doing wrong?
Yeah, what is it that you have to add value to? Yeah.
What is it that I need to add value to?
Yes.
So you see, there's a shift from a loss frame into a gain frame.
Exactly.
Then when you look at it, then what is it, what they are saying, what aspect of it has some level of truth? There's no rumors without some little level of truth. That's where strategic humility comes in. You must be broken. Invite the people. From that competitive, you are my opponent, and this, bring them, you are my collaborator. I need us to collaborate to drive this business.
Yes.
The things that you said, the things that were done, tell me more about it. I'll need to learn more from you. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
You are including, you are pulling the person in. So they have no other choice. Once you create that space for those kind of co-creative change conversations, you break that negative energy in the person. And if you, Sami, let me just share one slide to clear this.
Yeah.
Do I have this? Let me see. Yes, this is it. Isaac, take very good look at this. It would help you. And I think we can wrap it there. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Awesome. So you see this, knowledge is power. The beach you see is not Sakomno Beach or Adam Beach. It's an acronym for beliefs, expectations, assumptions, concerns, and hopes. In the case of Isaac's question, you have your worker or workers on beach 1, and then you have management or the leader on beach 2. These beaches are the beliefs, expectations, assumptions, concerns, hopes. Because we all have different orientations, different beliefs, different expectations, different assumptions, different concerns, and different hopes. This is where we are always in conflict. So for your leadership to produce results, you need to come to a common beach where there is an alignment of all these beliefs into what you want the people to know and what you also need to know about the people. Because it's not always about what we think should be, but we should also be open that their stories, the perspectives of the people we work with can change our version of thinking about it. So that what? We can generate a shared solution.
Yeah.
A shared solution is where that person who betrayed you, when you have that conversation for change using a criteria that we may talk about in some other session, when you bring them to that place, the shared solution means there is ownership, there is respect, there is loyalty, there is understanding, and what? Automatically it ignites and creates room for high performance.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much. All right. So we have 4 minutes. So I'm going to go through the other comments quickly so that you can just give us your wrap on them and then we will go. So we have more people coming. Gilbert Sam says, great lessons for the night. Appreciative leadership is the way to go. Dr. Gina say, happy to join today. Ivan Samba, thank you for the opportunity to learn. And thanks to Dr. Tunkren Chum for sharing the link and encouraging us to join. Wonderful. William Darfos from Tema says, wonderful presentation. Amachi say, hello, I'm Ama. It's been an interesting session so far. And Hajia Halima says, thanks very much for a good presentation. My take home, strategic humility. And I love that, strategic humility. It's not a Kramaho Brazil, sometimes it's another one. Livingston says, very informative presentation. And Paco Drew says, I'm grateful for the wonderful information. Working smart is the way to improve the organizational growth. All right. Isaac says, long suffering decoded implies avoiding shortcuts, embracing challenges, and perseverance. Edward Amperi says, very educative, enjoying the presentation. Cynthia Ours is very insightful, great presentation. All right, so guys, go ahead and join the Growth Journey. The link is provided, and we thank you all for coming. This Isaac question is what has been answered, and her ladyship says, insightful presentation. Thank you, Madam Vida Aziba. Did I skip something? Well, all right. Okay. I think, yes. Vida Aziba says, I'm happy to join you today. Very educative. And what are some of the challenges high quality leaders encounter? That's from Isaac. More questions from Isaac for you. He says it's awesome presentation. My take home is strategic humility. All right, so strategic humility is winning here, and we thank you. Patience, your friend says, awesome presentation. A leader needs to be highly spiritual. And Portia Amonu says, very, very insightful. And he says, wash hands. Okay. All right. So we'll give you the last couple of minutes to give us a wrap on some of this and your final closing remarks. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Sami, and a very big thank you to all our friends who have stayed on throughout. One thing I want you to take home today is that we have to be the change we want to see. And the world is crying out, businesses are looking out and dying for leaders who bring change in numbers, change in the dynamics of the way of doing business, and also change in the way of doing things. Let us come on board. You are your own leader. Start to apply some of these things in your own little corner. Take responsibility of your lifelong leadership. And once you do, align your personal vision to your business vision. I think you'll be able to add value to your business, and you should be in a position to also add value to society. So let us go out and be the change we want to be. Thank you. God bless. Have a good evening and happy Easter.
Thank you so much, Liziane. This has been very good. Go and be the change that you want to see. As I read one time, John Maxwell said, I've never gone into any organization and they say, John, come and help us. We have too many leaders. No. Every time the problem is we don't have enough leaders, or we have leaders who are not leading well. So we need more leaders. We need more quality leaders. We need appreciative leaders who are going to add value to the people of the organization and therefore the organization. That is why we want to thank all of you for coming and joining us on the leadership platform. Please, as you celebrate Easter and think about Jesus, think about your personal growth also, and think about your leadership. And we have so many programs at the Center for Transformational Leadership to help you on the way. Join the growth journey, join the put your dream to the test, join the leadership walk. Go to our website, visit our pages, and contact us. Some links have been shared. Please let us know how we can help you. Have a good night. Have a good Easter. And until next week, when we come your way with another leader with a topic on workplace leadership. The whole of this month, we are dealing on workplace leadership. Have a good night. Thank you very much, Liziane.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
My name is Eliza.
My name is Elsie.
My name is Ebenezer Tufo.
This is Rosemary Robert Gacy.
Over the past 14 weeks, I have been part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey, and it has been a blessing for me. I want to share my lessons with you.
Indeed, my attitude to life has never been the same. On the very first day I joined the virtual Personal Growth and Leadership Masterclass organized by Center for Transformational Leadership CTL Africa under the tutelage of Mr. Samuel Eyim.
First, the law of intentionality. Second, the law of design. And third, the law of the rubber band, the law of expansion.
The law of intentionality, the law of awareness. Then we have the law of the mirror.
Looking at how intense these laws are and how much impact they're supposed to make to our life.
My value obviously is not the same. The program indeed satisfies my quest for knowledge. So I encourage you to be part of this journey and also become an encouragement to others.
I will recommend CTL Africa to everyone who hears about us.
It has been a blessing to me, and I will encourage you to be part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey.
So we thank Mr. Eyim, and we thank CTL, and thank you for listening to us.
God bless you as you make a move today.
I've been blessed and so you'll be blessed. Thank you.